subscribed, and we didn't even catch any fish this morning. Hell, if you're out here when we were catching fish, that's probably good for a bunch of grass. Yep, right in the grass. Right in the grass. And it's that nasty green, slimy algae. It's like hair. Gets all over everything. Of course, the dog thinks it's wonderful because it stinks. All right. Watch out, you're going to get hooked in the head. Anyway, we're fishing Lake Alexander. Lost you guys for a minute because it was doing this the other day. I was fishing and trying to do a live stream. It was a hit. Trying to do a live stream and it kept quitting. Oh, I just hit it again. He's right at the boat, but he ain't going to hit it that close. Catch a fish here, Cessna. Come on, baby. Here's the spot. I caught him on top water right here the other day. Probably ought to try that while we're floating by it. Anyway, welcome. We've been fishing all morning. However, it's been kind of slow. So I'm going to throw this top water on this ultralight. Let's see if I can't catch a fish. All right, Seth, watch out, baby. Watch out. I can't get the trolling motor. She's like, I don't care, Dad. She said, I don't care if you... It's amazing that these tiny torpedoes and baby torpedoes, like the biggest bass I ever caught was on one of these things. 15 pounds, 10 ounces. It was huge. And that was in Florida, of course. It was a largemouth on a tiny torpedo when I was, let me see, how old was I? I was in high school, I think, junior high. Oh, is that where you were barking at? Was that bird? I didn't see that bird, Cessna. I'm sorry. I'm hoping I can get this top water over the rocks up here, catch fish. It's been a slow morning, man. For those of you who have hung out with me, I appreciate it. Because, man, when you're not catching fish, I can't think anything more boring than watching somebody fish that's not catching fish. Especially on something like this. Because, you know, when I had my TV show back in the 90s, it was called Reeling in the Treasure Coast. And it was on Channel 10. It's a local channel we have. I wasn't like even statewide. It was kind of like Southeast Florida. A lot of people watched it, but they edit everything. You know, I didn't do it, but the show, I was part owner in a fly shop, and the TV channel had just started, and they came and wanted to do a fishing show. Somebody do a fishing show, so they asked me to do it. They did everything. They had a pontoon boat with the cameraman would get on the pontoon boat, and a lot of times, since I was fishing my Maverick flat boat, they'd have to leave like way ahead of me to go get where we were going to go fish so they could get set up. And then because their pontoon boat wouldn't go near as fast as my Maverick Master Angler would go, so they'd go get set up, and then I'd meet them there. And then, like I say, they do everything, man. They do all the the camera work, and all I had to do is show up and catch fish. But there's times, of course, like right now, where we're not catching anything. And you wouldn't see that on the show because they'd edit it out. And people don't understand that to get a half-hour show or an hour-long show where you're, show that's full of you catching fish, it might take you 2 days to get that. Because if we weren't catching fish, they'd keep filming because you can't stop filming because if they stop, man, I can't even believe this. You guys are looking at like, duh. They would, Hey y'all, say hi. So I know who I'm talking to. Welcome. Um. Anyway, those guys when they film those shows, it might take us 2 days to get a half hour's worth of material, and then they go back and edit it. Which like a lot of you creators do here. And I don't do that. My sister and on her channel, we just kind of do our thing. Because I don't have the time nor the know-how. I know it's not hard, but man, I was talking to Devin, a buddy of mine that I took his wife to kill that turkey this year. He said his YouTube channel that he used to do was all hunting and fishing in Idaho, mostly hunting and trapping. He said that the editing took him forever, like to get a 20-minute, because he said some of his were 20 minutes long. He said those guys, like and subscribe for all y'all who just joined. You're just looking at the bank again because this camera's going to keep doing it because I'm trying to just fish and keep you guys entertained. There. And the doggone gimbal, which is a new gimbal, so I'm still working out the bugs in it. Keep turning y'all sideways and keep shutting off for some reason. And I don't have the Bluetooth on. Anyhow, when these guys are filming a show, or when we'd film there's a hit. When we'd film, come on back and hit it. They'd take that 2 days worth of material and they'd edit it down to a half-hour show. Well, they have to keep filming because, like when we were tarpon fishing, you might fish for hours, especially with a fly rod, to get a tarpon to hit, and then once you get a tarpon on and they jump, a lot of times you only get a couple jumps out of them because they'll break off. Because we were hooking pretty big tarpon, and they were laughing about how long they just had to keep filming. I remember one day we were trying to film a tarpon thing, and they shut the camera off just for a minute to change something. And as soon as they shut that camera off, I hooked a big tarpon, and it jumped probably. There's a fish. Oh, come on, hang in there, baby. Yeah, that's a pretty decent fish. On top water on an ultralight rod with 4-pound test. So we're going to back our drag off a little bit because it isn't a monster, but again, it's 4-pound test. So we want to keep loosening this drag up because you cannot horse these guys in, man. You will break this line because it's light, even though that's only about 1.5 pound fish. They fight good, and he's trying to get to the rocks. So we tighten our drag up a little bit. And again, you just got to be patient with them because when I caught that 141-pound tarpon on this 4-pound test, I was using this rod, as a matter of fact. This rod's 30 years old. A buddy of mine built it for me. Yeah, that's a nice fish. It's a very nice fish on top water. It's a keeper. Here, hang on, baby. It's right at, and I usually don't hoist them in the boat like that because with 4-pound test, you can break it. Anyway, it's a nice fish, and especially on top water. I love catching fish on top water. And those of you who fish know why, because it is very fun to watch these guys. Nice Idaho smallmouth bass. And I'm not going to move all the stuff and measure, but here I can almost do it. Let's see, that fish is right at